Hello, and thank you for joining us for Moss Talks, where we have more conversations and more culture. My name is Joel, co-founder and creative director for Moss Magazine.
I'm Sydney, co-founder and editorial director for Moss Magazine.
So, Sydney, daylight savings has not come back for a minute. By the time this comes out, daylight savings will be in effect. Like we'll have our sunlight back, but right now we're getting snow, which I'm not a fan of. I must admit.
Me either. Usually I am. I feel like this is our third snow, so I'm kind of over it.
As a kid, obviously snow's great. Snow's great. You ain't got no school. You can stay home. You can decide if you want to play if you want to, which is really your choice. Like as an adult, it gets very real because it's like, do I decide to risk my life today?
Yeah.
Do I like?
When I see snow now, all I think about is ice and like driving and like I like looking at it. I'm not gonna go out and play in it, but I do like looking at it. But I also think about, dang, if that melts, it's just gonna freeze tonight, and then can I even drive the next day?
Yeah, and like I don't mean to treat it like a life or death situation, but it really is honestly because like it could change with an inch
Yeah,
or a quarter of an inch.
even with this previous time, I think we got about 2 or 3 inches, and there's been so many accidents, even with like roads being salted and prepped. Like there's still been accidents just because like down here we don't really know how to drive for real. The snow, like we stay in the house for a reason.
I must say though, much love to I don't know the proper terminology, but the people that salt the roads, people that work for the city, much love to them because or whoever coordinates them as well, much love to them because they really been on it. Like they've been on it this year. I'm not gonna lie. Like most time, I would say the last couple of years they really been on it because from my hometown, it takes a minute. Like it don't make a lot of money in my hometown, but like at the same time, from where I've been at personally, like they've been getting the roads salted ASAP. They
Oh
have
yeah.
been seasoning them roads.
Yeah, I think I came back home on like Monday night, and Tuesday afternoon I went out. When I went out, the roads were salted. And I was like, oh snap, we're not supposed to get snow till Wednesday, but
Yeah,
they were already done in prep.
yeah. Like I said again, as an adult, I'm in between that moment of I would love to stay home because it's snowing, but at the same time I have bills to pay, and it's like with certain areas of life you have to work depending on your job, and like with me, I don't have the luxury of being able to be like, oh, you know what? I'm just not gonna clock in today. Like I literally I wake up and I'm like and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for a call, a text or email. And I'm like, please help brother out. Please.
I think that will be me until the day we are able to do this full time. This is
Yeah.
like magazine stuff. That's what I want to do for real. So anything other than that, I'm like, oh, gotta get up. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really I thought about this earlier today, and what I'm realizing is that life is feeling a little bit too close to the pursuit of happiness. It's a little scary. It's a little too scary. Like, cause it's literally feels like, oh, you got out of school, you got all these degrees, you got your certification, whatever you did, like you got your diploma, and like you feel like you're on top of the world, like you've done what was expected of you by your parents and your peers, and like all things that you could achieve. And then like that's like in the movie, he buys all these machines, and like they're selling good, which is like our point of growing up and getting our diplomas. But then we go to college, and it's good for a while. We sell a couple. Like our like in the movie, his son's happy. He's fed. He got his action figure. Like we're still able to pay the bills, drop him off at daycare. But then we get into the workforce. We don't have anybody to sell to, and it just feels like that moment in the pursuit of happiness where he's at I think it's a train station or bus station somewhere, some station, and he has to sleep in the bathroom with his son. And it's just it in a metaphorical sense, it's like it feels like what's in the toilet. It feels like that. It
whole
feels like,
time it was a documentary.
yeah, this whole time it was foretelling the future. And hopefully the end of that movie comes quicker than it does for Chris. I think his name was Chris, wasn't it?
I don't know. I watched the movie a long time ago.
But yeah. Go movie though. I miss those Will Smith movies. I need to watch one. What was that one like? 7 pounds, 8 pounds? I forgot
I
that
think it
one.
was
That one
seven
that one was
pounds.
sad.
I haven't
That's
seen
a
that
good
one
one.
though.
We need to.
I think that's the one Will Smith movie I haven't
Like
seen yet.
the movies where they don't make Will Smith the movies where they don't make Will Smith an action hero or don't force him to be honestly, like Bad Boys one was good. I never seen any other Bad Boys, but in my opinion, I think when Will Smith was allowed to express emotion in films outside of just shooting a gun or like doing all these extracurricular activities, it's so good. Like Fresh
Yeah,
Prince,
because
even I Robot, I'll take that as exception too. Even though he's shooting stuff, I Robot was good.
the best comedians are always really, really great at drama. So
Hmm.
because they're
Yeah,
pulling from like that same sense of emotion, like
yeah,
versus like getting someone to laugh versus getting someone to cry or get angry. You're just trying to make someone feel something.
yeah. But yeah, even though today we have a great artist, singer, songwriter, and we haven't been on topic for that right now. We hope you enjoy the next segment of our podcast. So thank you for tuning in to Moss Talks. Today we had the pleasure of speaking with Deva Rani about her path as a singer and songwriter. Thank you, Deva, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So first question, generally an icebreaker, you probably experience this question a lot, but what got you started with music?
Well, I have to say, starting back when I was around 4 years old, my mom put me into piano lessons, which at the time I really didn't enjoy because it was all classical piano. It's not something that I could connect with at all. But in hindsight, it's something that I'm very lucky for because it's definitely given me a lot of background in music so that I can bring it forward and put it into my producing. So I started off as a classical pianist.
Okay, so I do have a follow up for that because
Mhm.
as a child, I was brought up through piano lessons as well. And so, do you ever have this moment where you think about those lessons, or you think about them, like, do you view them from a grateful standpoint? Do you view them from like a resentful standpoint? Because I know, like, as a child, it's like it's probably not the first thing on your mind to do.
Right. I mean, I honestly, when I was a kid, I protested it a lot.
Mhm.
Um, and because I think they saw that I was like picking it up really well, and I started like noticing how fun it was to like get really good at it. I
Mhm.
started treating it kind of more like a sport. And of course, like in hindsight, like I said, I'm really grateful that they had me in piano and that it's something that I can draw from now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know then, like growing up, what type of music were you into, and like, do you see that influence now with like the music you make?
Yeah. I think that's also something I'm really grateful for because my my dad especially put me onto so much music, ranging from country music, to, you know, soul music, funk music, and that was something that has definitely influenced the type of music that I make now. My older sister, also introduced me to artists like, Alicia Keys, somebody that also played the piano, wrote her own music and stuff like that. That was something that was really inspiring to me growing up. And so I think that the culmination of all the different genres that I was exposed to is something that I like carry with me every day, even if it's like really far in the back of my mind. And it's not stuff that I necessarily listen to every day now, but just having that background influenced my style a lot.
So,
Yeah.
before you ask the next question, Sydney, I do have another question. So,
Mhm.
do you listen to a lot of music?
I listen to a lot, not as
Mhm.
much as I would like to, and I have
Mhm.
a lot of friends will come to me and be like, "Oh, have you heard like this new album?" Da da da, and I'm just like, "Oh, like I am not." But in terms of exploring, I feel like, I've explored a lot of international music, which is
Mhm.
something that people, don't hear every day, and so I can put my friends onto that stuff. and it's not stuff that's like as popular as, you know, a lot of mainstream artists that we listen to. But like I really enjoy exploring and like finding like really deep music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say,
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm the type I listen to a astronomical amount of music. Like
Yeah.
Spotify probably has me in a crate somewhere, and they're like, we need to dump this account.
Yeah.
But
They
um,
probably love you.
probably I need to teach them about how to shuffle their platform.
Yeah.
But but the only reason I'd ask that was because I know like as some people, some musicians, some singers, some songwriters, as they grow into themselves and as they grow in their own career paths, they find themselves not listening to much music. So I find it interesting that you do listen to a lot of music.
That's actually really interesting because I was gonna bring this up right as you started talking, but I notice myself when I'm like in a really creative mindset and I'm ready to start making something, I try to stay away from listening to other stuff because it kind of drowns out like what I'm hearing in my head and what I'm like ready to like start creating.
Mhm.
And I've noticed that sometimes I unintentionally like copy something that I'm really into at the time. And I'm not like copy, but like, you know, like I draw a lot of inspiration to the point where it's like, okay, this sounds exactly like this artist. And so instead of like doing that, I try to really like get in my own zone and like hear what my brain is telling me to make, you know, instead of drawing from other people. But yeah.
I see, yeah, that's fair because with the art of creativity, when you're always having someone else's art in front of you when you're about to create,
Mhm.
it's easy. Like it's almost like it's almost like it feels like a sign from God, but at the same time when
Mhm.
you're done, it's like
Yeah, like,
these look familiar.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that honestly kind of goes into my next question for you, which is, where do you draw inspiration from as you're writing lyrics for your songs?
In terms of lyrics, I say I strive to be like Frank Ocean level of lyricism, but what ends up coming out is just like my own conversations with myself. Like my best my best lyrics have come from when I'm like I'll just be sitting somewhere like thinking about my situation or like somebody else's situation and I like think of like these words just like flow out of me and it just makes sense. Like in my song Blue Raspberry, I say you were under the impression you deserved. Like that's something that I was just sitting there like thinking that. I was thinking about my situation and I wrote that down. I didn't touch it for so long and I came back to it and that's like one of my favorite lines that I've written because it really just came from like me in my own head just thinking about it. But yeah, like I think that that's where like the best lyrics come out of because it's just so genuine and it like it's yeah, I guess yeah, that's where my inspiration comes from.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, like, you, like, kind of fall into those conversations because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, like, I'm talking to myself," or like,
Mhm.
"I'm having all these conversations with myself," and so they kind of just
Mhm.
brush it off. But I feel like when you just have a moment to be alone and really just like go over things and kind of, go over conversations and advice and just really talk to yourself and reflect, I feel like that's where, in a way, you're kind of taking care of yourself and just,
Mhm.
growing on your own, if that makes sense, and just the reflection of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not the type of person to like sit down with like a pen and paper and be like, this is when I'm writing my lyrics.
Mhm.
Like I think like sometimes when I'm writing like, you know, chorus, verse, chorus, and that kind of thing, I can do that. But when it comes to like those like hitter lines that are like, this is something that other people are gonna really get and resonate with, it's like it's just stuff that comes out of the blue. Like I'll just be sitting in class or something like that and like thinking about it. But
But the going back to a comment I made about the art of creating. So when you're writing these lyrics, when you're and the many times you have, does it
yeah.
get easier or is it constant changing? Like, does it, like, is there, I know you probably have moments where it's like it instantly clicks, and then there are other times where it probably kind of seems like you have writer's block, but in
Mhm.
the vastness of it, do you think it gets easier?
I think so. I've definitely thought about this before, and there was a period of time when I was writing a lot of music, but it wasn't stuff that I felt was genuine and vulnerable.
Mm.
And so in that sense, it was just a chunk in time, like 3 or 4 years, which is like a long time, where I was writing music, I was putting it out, I was being very productive about it, but it just wasn't something that I really connect with, and it's not even songs that I really like performing anymore because I'm like, it doesn't really mean much, you know what I mean? And so, like long term, yes, I've gone through phases where the creativity is just not there in terms of lyricism, but I guess like month to month, I also go through like writer's block. So like right now, I would say I'm in a writer's block. I've been a little bit stressed because I just moved from California to New York, and there's just a lot going on. And I feel like when I'm under a lot of pressure, like for like with other things, outside things, it's not like a time where I can like sit and like be patient with myself and be creative. Um, and I think that that's just natural, and I don't think that that's something that should ever be forced because I'm gonna end up just not being genuine again. So yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a question, and Sydney, you can opt to cut this out if you want to. But so my question is, and you can also opt out to answer this if you want to. So basically, if let's say you make one of these songs that don't really resonate with you, and like you decide just one day you're just gonna put it on all platforms, so you're just put it out there. If let's say the song takes off, like it reaches global international success, would you
Mhm.
still perform the song even though it's not something you want to perform?
And it's a song that I wrote, and it's like internationally successful.
Yeah, like it's something you wrote, it's something only people like people when people see you on the street, that's the song they think about.
Ooh, that's really tough. Because right at the moment, my biggest song is one that I actually really like.
Mhm,
Um, I would still perform it.
mhm,
Yeah. Because like I think to a certain extent, like my audience is the reason why sorry. My audience is the reason that I am where I am,
mhm,
right? So if they were the ones that were like, this is the song, I'd feel a little bit like obligated to like give it to them in a live show. But that's
mhm.
not to say that's my only live song.
Right,
And
yeah.
I've been to like concerts where an artist blows up off of one song and everybody in the audience is just standing there like on their phone until they play that one song, and then they pull their phone out, take a video of it, put it away, and then they're like again like no energy, which like I would just hate to be in that situation, but I think that that's just the reality for a lot of people, which is kind of unfortunate. Like there's just some artists that have like are only shown love for like one song that blew up on TikTok, which I don't know, sucks.
I see, yeah. That leads me
Yeah.
to a great segue. Congrats on your success with the song Moon Dweller, hitting over
Thank you.
100,000 on
Thank
Spotify. So proud.
you.
In that song, from what I heard, you kind of explore this feeling of ascension. Can you guide us through the process and emotions behind that single?
This single was one of the ones where I just like hit, like I was just in a flow state, where I sat there, I produced the entire thing in a couple of hours. And I had recently gone out of this class. It was like one of those like elective classes, one unit pass, no pass. And they taught us how to improvise on the piano. And since I like grew up doing classical piano, reading notes off of the sheet, it wasn't something that I was very like skilled at. But after this class, it really gave me the confidence to just like go on and like improvise, and just like go off of like a chord progression. And so as I was producing it, I was like, it would be so dope if like in the middle of the song, I just do like a complete breakdown. And instead of doing a second verse, I'm just gonna do like a jazz improvisation thing. And so that's kind of how I started producing it. Um, and then in terms of writing lyrics, I just knew I wanted to do like a lot of harmony stacking. I think that's something that's kind of become like my style, is just like putting in a lot of harmonies. I think it fills up the space really nicely. And yeah, I guess in the lyrics, I don't know. I was just talking very genuinely. I wanted it to be like a metaphor well, okay, so I guess for me, because I can be a very like serious, straightforward Capricorn, like, energy where I'm just like very like like to the point and like steadfast. I don't know all the like stereotypes behind Capricorn, but like I can just be very like serious all the time. And when I have somebody's energy that's able to kind of like pull me away and like help me look at things from like further back, where I'm able to like recognize, okay, like I'm just like one person of, 8 billion people on this earth that are all just like trying to survive, really. Like things are not as serious as they seem. Like we are just so tiny in the grand scheme of things. And so that's kind of like what the inspiration is behind it, because I can get so caught up in day to day. And I feel like that's something that other people can relate to. I worked with Sean, his ADHD, who's like an engineer out in Sacramento, and he helped me kind of like bring it to life. And since all of the drums and stuff were like, computer generated, it was all MIDI stuff. He helped me kind of make it feel like you're like sitting in like a live room, which like I'm really grateful for. And yeah, that's kind of how from start to finish how it went.
I say before you answer the question, Sydney, this is another you can opt out. Um, I have a lot of those, and I know Sydney's heart drops when I when that happens. But so do you ever walk down the street or ever drive in traffic or be anywhere out in public and you just look at someone have the headphones on, like someone in the like see a car passing by bumping music, you ever think they're possibly playing my song right now? I'm on
That's
Billboard's 100 in a Toyota Camry
crazy.
right now.
Oh my goodness, I wish. I was like thinking about this because I have a lot more streams in New York than I do in the Bay.
Mhm.
So when I moved here, I was like, I wonder where they're playing my music. Like, is it out in Brooklyn? Or, like, are they playing it out here? Are they playing it in bars? Like, I would have no idea. But honestly, I don't really think about it like day to day. Like I kind of just let it all like pass in my head, and then like some every once in a while I'll get like a DM like, "Oh, I just like heard your song for the first time at like a bar, and like I'm just obsessed with it." Da, da, da. And I'm like, if this person is taking time out to come and find my Instagram, DM me and let me know, like, I can't imagine how many people are like hearing it all the time. But I think like when it first started like going up on Spotify, I was just like really taken aback. Like I don't know, it's just like a crazy feeling to think like so many people hear my voice on the daily. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's say
it's
it's
like, oh God.
no, 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 go ahead, go ahead. You
I
probably
was
say
just
what I'm
gonna,
about to say.
oh, probably, but it's like, like even just like that one person like messaging you and coming up to you and being like, wow, like I love your music. I'm
Yeah.
like it's just amazing just to think about like thousands and thousands and thousands of people like who listen to you. Like imagine if they all came up to you. Like that is just
I
like
know, I
insane.
know. It is insane. And then like on TikTok too, like sometimes like people will like DM me on there, or like just the amount of people that hear my music on there now is just like it's just crazy. Like I could fill a stadium if I wanted to. Just
Yeah.
saying.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that. Like literally, your biggest is Super Bowl. Think about that. Your
Yeah.
biggest is Super Bowl.
I know. It's so cool. I just like I'm really excited to like get into like the scene here, and I've kind of been lagging on it a little bit, but like that's just because of like personal, situations and stuff like that. But when I like am actually able to connect to my audience that like lives out here, it's gonna be really cool. But
Mm.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm
Honestly,
excited for
that
that.
well, I was gonna say that leads to my next question, my last question. What does it feel like to perform for a crowd? And also, do you have like any rituals when it comes to live performances?
I love performing, and I think that it's something that I've gotten way better at in the last year. Um, it's not something that like naturally came to me, because going up there and being like, "Hey guys, this is my music," like, come check me out. I'm also on Spotify. And like, just being up there and like having to, explain yourself to people and get people like interested and involved can be like a really hard task. Um, especially if you're going up there for like 30 minutes. Like people's attention span is like 15 minutes, you know? And all my songs are kind of like mellow, you know, sleepy-ish. So it's tough. It's something that I'm definitely getting better at. Um, and I would say I don't really have much of a ritual besides talking and like getting to know the other performers up there. I think that that's like a really great way to like hype yourself up, hype each other up, and also connect with other musicians, which is like always, you know, a fun thing to do. And I feel like we are able to all calm each other down and um yeah, like so that we're not all nervous at the same time and like freaking out. I want to say that like something that I want to try for my next show is to bring out a band. That's not something that I've had the opportunity to do yet, because usually like when I do a show, I have like my backing tracks and I put them all in order and I memorize exactly like the order that they're gonna go in, and then I just press play on, or have somebody press play on it and then like sing on top of it. But I think like bringing out a live band would be like the next step for me. So yeah.
I'm kind of curious then, because you did grow up playing piano, so like would you ever like while performing, like would you want to like, play, or do you play any other instruments, or, would you want to bring that to your performances too?
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely want to do that. Yeah, I think, um, yeah, I don't know what it would take. I think part of the problem is that I don't have access to like a rehearsal space at the moment, but I would love to go up there and, have my Alicia Keys moment and like play the piano and like sing along with it. And the other instrument that I play is the drums, which is like not exactly easy to like sing and play the drums, but that would be really lit if I could like go up there and like play an instrument. Um, maybe even pull out the guitar. I'm not that great at it, but I could try. So yeah.
I
Oh, and
see.
the other thing that I've seen like a lot of producers do live is either like DJ for themselves or like have a little thing where they're like live producing. I think that would be something that would be really fun for me. Yeah.
So yeah, I say you're really speaking my language. Like I don't think you understand. Like I told you earlier, I grew up playing the piano. I don't play
Yeah.
no more. I just know my chords, and that's pretty much it. I can play hot cross buns, but that's it.
Yeah.
Um, and then after I gave up piano, I played the drums in church. Played that for a while, and then
Yeah.
I literally have a DJ deck. We had an interview, and it's still sitting on that same place it was. But yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
get broken out
Yeah.
again sometime this year.
You should. You should. Yeah, I think that's really fun. And out here, there's so many people that are like DJs and artists, and they can like it's way easier, I think, to pull like a DJ gig out here than it is to like do like a live performance gig. But that's like, yeah, I need to get my deck and all that stuff. But like, I don't know, I'm not ready to invest just yet. But yeah. And then yeah, the other thing is like piano and drums are like they're almost one and the same. I feel like because piano is like considered like a chordal instrument, but it's also a percussion instrument in a lot of ways. And so you develop that like sense for rhythm while you're playing the piano and like moving that over, and the dexterity too. Because
Yeah.
you have to do two different things at once. And it's the same thing with drums. It's like you just have to do the same thing, but you gotta use your feet too. It's a lot, but it's really fun.
Yeah, it is. Especially like you as a guy, like you get the bang and loud and
Yeah,
fast,
like slapping. No, yeah. No, you can definitely get a lot of energy, like and anger out doing that. But yeah.
I'm gonna segue to our next segment where we basically have a quick fire. I ask you 5 questions and you just answer what the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? Go to studio session snack.
Pringles.
Mm-hmm. And come back to that. Dream collab,
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So country or city?
City.
Sing under the stars or sing in a sunset?
Sunset.
Favorite summer activity?
Producing.
Okay, so
Or concert.
concert. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm just like I really just like producing. So I'm
So
like I'll do that next time.
coming back to studio session snack, you said Pringles. It's very impertinent what your next answer to my question be.
Mhm.
What flavor?
Sour cream and onion.
Great answer. Great
Yeah,
answer.
okay, great.
You heard it here, folks. Great answer. No,
I'm glad.
no, for real, because sour cream and onion is goated.
Yeah, it's
Goated.
the best. It is the best. Yeah.
Like,
Or the spicy ones, but like No, I think for Pringles, I think sour cream and onion.
So yeah, as a kid, if I ever got my hand on sour cream and onion, my hand would have been stuck in 2 cans if
Yeah,
I could have.
that's so funny. I don't know why I said Pringles too. I don't usually snack while I'm producing, but like if I were to, I think Pringles.
Dream collab, you said Frank Ocean. Obviously, give me. So I do have a question though. So
Mhm.
out of Frank Ocean's discography, if you could feature on a Frank Ocean song, what would it be?
Months.
Good,
Yeah.
good answer. I'm loving these
I
answers.
already
So,
had it ready because that's like gotta be one of my favorite songs of all time.
mhm.
Yeah.
So country or city, that's pretty much a gimme. You're in New
Mhm.
York now, came from San Fran. Like that's
Mhm.
pretty much a gimme. So but I do find the next question interesting. So I'm this is just me assuming again, so obviously I'm wrong. I thought you would say Sing Under the Stars, cause like Moon Dweller, Golden Hour,
Yeah,
like all this stuff
I
that's like
know.
kind of set in the stars. I was like, maybe
Yeah,
this is where she's going now. So
yeah.
why Sunset?
I just feel like there's so much more to look at and be inspired by it with like a sunset and like golden hour. Um, and I enjoy like the colors. I feel like a night sky is nice, but then again, like being from a city, living in a city, I don't really see much of that. And like when I do, it's really nice to like stare at, but I don't know. I just think that there's so much more to like look at in a sunset, and all of them every time it's different, you know? You never have the same sunset every day. You know, sometimes it's more cloudy, sometimes it like leaves a pink sky. So yeah, I think that's
So
yeah.
I'm gonna let Sydney ask the next one.
Well, before I do, I just want to say I definitely agree with the sunset. Because I went to school at the beach for college, and like
Mm,
one of my favorite things to do, like especially after a long day, is just, go sit on the beach and watch the sunset.
yeah,
And it was different every time and just
yeah.
so like serene. So yeah, definitely get that.
Mm, mhm. No,
Um,
it feels like a higher power,
yeah,
like something so divine about like getting to like see like how the clouds form, and it's just so pretty. Yeah.
it really is.
Maybe it's me. I love a sunset, but maybe it's me because when I see a sunset, all I can think about is the sun's going down. I'm losing my light. Like,
Yeah, see, that's true. But then there's like the night sky, and you're like, okay, now I'm just like stuck in this for another 8 hours.
I mean,
Is that
yeah,
is that negative? I don't know.
no, no, it's not because it's probably also based on experiences too. Because I've like grown up in the country, like the night, like the crickets chirping. Again, obviously you're from the city, but being in the countries, the crickets
Mhm.
chirping, seeing just like the trees blowing in the distance, the tall grass is swaying. It is just
Yeah,
the stars make it just so angelic.
yeah.
But I digress because I assumed wrong.
No, it's fair to assume, and there's literally lyrics in Moondweller talking about being under the stars or something like that. Yeah, on my rooftop we stare at the stars. Yeah, I mean there's beauty to both of them. I would just have to say sunset though. Well,
So for the last one, favorite summer activity being concerts.
mhm.
I want to know, like, even in the upcoming year or just in general, like, who do you want to go see live?
Ooh.
Well, who do you want to go see live that you haven't already seen?
I feel like, well, recently I discovered a band that, and I don't really listen to this type of music. I don't even know what genre to classify them as. But it's called Magdalena Bay. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Something
Magdalena Bay.
familiar.
But it's very like upbeat, synthy type of music. And I feel like in the summertime, I would love to see them live. Like it just seems like such good vibes, like being like out like in an outdoor venue and you can just kind of like dance to it. But yeah, Magdalena Bay.
Sounds like a great summer night. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You guys should check them out. They're pretty-
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Moss Talks. We had Deva Rani. Thank you again. And please check her out on every platform, Spotify, music, Apple Music, YouTube, IG, you name it. Honestly, you name it. you think about it, look it up. That was a great conversation we had with Deva Rani, amazing singer, songwriter, musician. Literally, like, that's the type you love to see, someone that does it all. Like, she
Mhm.
produced it, she plays the piano, plays the drums, probably plays other stuff she ain't told us about, but yeah,
She writes all the lyrics, genuine lyrics, and then
performs them.
yeah, like even in performing, like she takes time to like get to know and like kind of be the leader in that way. So just overall really great. And to grow up around so many cultures too, like listen to music, international music, just a vast palette of
Mhm.
knowledge and influence and stuff.
Emphasis on the word palette. I think that's a word we need to expand upon multiple things. Like people be saying vibes this, vibes that. Let me see what your palettes like. How's your palette in conversation? How's your palette in communication? How's your palette?
This is the campaign to make palette a thing,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
Mean Girls.
palette. Yes, because and I remember when palatable was a big thing too. People ask, is this good? And they'd be like, that's not palatable.
Yeah, but
Not.
that's like that has like a very like uppity
Yeah, there's a very
tone to it.
uppity, bougie.
Yeah, but palette,
Mhm.
sophisticated. Mhm.
Sophisticated, demure. Mhm. Shout out to Mulan. I love Mulan. Shout out to Mulan. But yeah, like we said earlier, check out all her music because literally it's that. It feels like the type of soul music you can lay in the floor and like just ponder about.
Then
Like literally, like I'll take time every once in a while to like put my headphones on and disconnect. I'll just lay on the floor. Don't judge me, but I'll lay on the floor, headphones on, and I'll just sometimes I'll stare at the ceiling, sometimes I'll close my eyes, and I feel like her music is one of those things I can really do that with.
I will say that her songs will go into the playlist where I keep Solange and Cleo Soul and Danny Offline. Shout out to her.
I was about to say that. That I feel like her and Danny Offline will make a great collab at one point if they decide to or not. Like it's their career, but I feel like in my dream they they have a good collab.
Danny, if you're watching this, come on the podcast. We want to talk to you
Yeah,
again.
we love
Please.
you, Danny. Please come on the
Please.
podcast. Yes, I literally was on TikTok and I saw her TikTok page and I was like, why am I not following this? Like, why am I not here? And like, I love her music too. That's the thing when was probably gonna happen with Deva Rani and what has happened with Danny Offline since we've featured Danny before. Like when the music comes into my playlist, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
sat.
It like
I'm sat.
it naturally comes into our playlist. Yeah,
Hmm.
I love that
And
because it just makes it extra special to know that like we have talked to them and gotten to know like not only like their artistry but like what inspired it or like, you know, what helped shape them to where they're at now. So it just makes it extra special.
yeah, it's just yeah. Especially I find it like not all the time, but every once in a while when I'm listening to Danny, like it'll be one of the songs, Plastic Bending, and I'll hear it, and it won't be her mainstream song. And like I listen to it, I'm like, ooh, this is good. And I know I liked it. I know I liked it. I look at my phone and it's like this from my playlist. I'm like, oh, this is Danny. And like it's that and I love reliving that moment because it's like oh, like I'm getting something new. Even though it's the same stuff, it's like, yeah, like it's like I said earlier, I'm sat.
All y'all watching this, listen to this, better be sat too. Y'all better be in your Apple, your Spotify, searching up Deva Rani right now, Danny Offline right now, because we have to support our Moss community because that's what we're all about. I want to share a notice and leave a reminder for everyone. Please, like how we are now just geeking out and jamming over these two amazing music artists because they're our jam. Share your jam with us. Please let us know what are you into. It could be music, it could be TV shows, it could be a recipe, it could be a book. Anything that is really like connecting with you, we want to connect with. So please send us your jams at info@mossmagazine.net and we will read them. Send us to our email, tell us about it, send some links Maybe we'll even try it out or listen to it ourselves or read it. I like to read, so if you have any recommendations, send them. And we'll talk about it here on the podcast. But
By all
please
means, please do.
share with us. Let us know what you're into so, we can connect with you and get into it too.
Like a famous artist once said, we all know and love. We jamming. We jamming.
How much coffee have you had today?
I haven't had any coffee. I've had 1 cup at 5 a.m. That's it. I haven't had any coffee. Yeah, this is just like I have to remind people that even though I may seem reserved and quiet, I'm to new people. Like I'm not talking about on podcasts. I'm talking people that meet me in public. Even though I may seem reserved and quiet, even though I may seem reserved and quiet, this is like you have to understand at some point in our experience in our conversation, I'm going to be this person that you see now. I'm going to be that kid on the playground who wants to play, but will only see you for that day. He's not coming back tomorrow, but he's gonna play today.
I will say from my experience and my time of knowing you, what you are describing is me. I'm the reserved, quiet one. Joel, I'm sorry, but you're just a people person. You be out there. You know how to start a conversation. It's very, very rare for me to see you in your quiet form in public.
I say if people like
So that's
you,
why I'm laughing.
you say people person, like really, like I don't think people understand the internal monologue that happens when it comes to being that people person. Because when I'm out, let's say I'm out by myself and I'm at an event or networking or something like that, like just for example, um, like it takes a lot of build up at the end because it's like I'm in myself. I'm like I have to do this. I have to meet at least one person, and it can be good or bad. It can last 5 seconds or it can last 20 minutes. But I'm like I have to, and so whenever I approach someone, it's never about asking like, "Oh, why are you here? Oh, how did you get here?" It's really like observing them for like a couple seconds and finding out some common denominator, like something that makes them personally unique, like maybe a jacket they're wearing, maybe an earring I like, or like something that really I think will stand out and complimenting them on it, or addressing it, or really just making them feel like a person outside of their reason for being there. Like, instead of just being, oh, I'm here to promote my business. I want to understand who the person behind the business really is. And so yeah,
And even though like you do take the moment to like sit back and do that or like you go over it through your head,
Mhm.
from the outside we don't see that at all. You just smooth with it, walk over, you just say something and all of a sudden you got a whole conversation, you're making them laugh. So
Well,
that's why I say you're very like personable in that way and a people's person.
I
At least you know
appreciate it.
how to be.
Yeah, I would say it also stems from reckless abandon, and that sounds bad because it's really. I remember whenever I approach someone, and this may be my last time seeing them. This may be my like I may never see this person again, never talk to them again. Like that could just be it, and like it really weighs on my mind when I'm talking to them because I don't worry about making a perfect impression. I don't worry about making them happy, making them feel any type of emotion. It's really just about did they see me? Did they talk to me? And like was it like did we talk? That's great. All right. That's all that matters. Like I try to approach it with no expectation. Unless it's like a certain thing, I have no expectation. Like person doesn't have to have good communication skills. They don't have to be 6 foot, 5 foot. They don't have to be brown skin, light skin. Like they don't have to be all these certain things. Like it's really about making people feel human. That's pretty much it. That's all I can say. Like it's
That's important, especially in today's time and age, because not a lot of people do that anymore, you know. And I can go into the whole spill of like screens and stuff, but keep
yeah.
that. Teach me your ways, because you know me.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's interesting because like it's honestly polar opposites in terms of like public. Like I reflect your energy, but at the same time, it's also like when I start, it's you can tell instantly who's who. Like it's night and day.
Yeah.
I say we both have the ability to conversation, but it's just you would cut your conversation off a lot quicker than I would.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Not
think
just
it's
because,
like, I think it's kind of like an earth sign thing because I'm a Virgo. So, like, once we get to the point, I get the facts, whatever I need, I'm kind of done. I don't really like, I can't like keep a conversation going really, or like, unless I'm like 100% into it, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just, once I get what I need, I'm pretty good. And then I have a lot of oh wow, that sounded really selfish. I don't mean it in that way. But I also have a lot of inner like dialogue too. Like I'm the type of person where like I interact with the world, but then I have to instantly reflect on it in my head before I start interacting again too. So I think that's what it is. I'm a very night person. You're a very day person.
so yeah, but I will say though, at certain times I'm a bit blind and oblivious because like even though talking to these people, I'm so focused on like reading them, I say. Like, I don't intentionally go out and read people, but just like it's just kind of like instinct, like kind of like pick up on certain things. Like obviously, like if you're looking at someone and their eyes dart across the room, you kind of like pick up on it. Like obviously, like what's happening over there. And so it's just like I kind of read them and I can like, okay, this person doesn't want me to be here, so I'll just like I'll cut the conversation off. And then it's not always often that I cut someone off. But when I do, it really just depends on how I feel.
I think it's very comical. No
Like yeah, it's
offense. Because
like when I
like
cut
you don't, because it takes a lot for you to get there. So like when you get there, I'm just like, wow, go him.
time when I cut them off.
Yeah.
I would say yeah, because it is very comical because it's purely like I say, I'm I'm a person. I'm like again, I'm gonna let you feel human, but you've done a lot in this conversation that has not allowed me to feel present in this moment. So goodbye. And that's it. Like no hard feelings. Love you, babes, but goodbye. That's it. That's really how I feel. And then it's also like if they try to like they're like, oh, you're the guy I was, and that's it.
Everyone out there, if you haven't figured it out by now, Joel is our personality hire.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
but no, I feel like that whenever I'm at my jobs, but they never see it. They never see it if like
No, 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 no. They don't realize that they're experiencing it because they're not a part of the culture.
that.
If they were, they would know, but
Yeah,
they're not. So, and then
absolutely.
also like, yes, personality hire, but you there one day, the whole thing is on fire. So you're more than that, just so you
Yeah,
know.
I see. Yeah, and plus, like, I do make fun. Like, I do the things that come with being this bubble or whatever you want to call it. If I'm not doing it, like, again, it's like cutting the conversation off. If I'm not doing it, I'm done with this conversation. I don't want to be here. Like, I'm not. I don't feel present here. So yeah, check us out on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and be sure to check out Deva Rani and again Danny offline as well on all music platforms: Spotify Music, YouTube, yeah, you name it. And yeah, feel free to check out our other episodes as well. Thanks for enjoying my talks. Have a good one.